Hey friends, okay, here's your nurturing astrology for the Gemini New Moon we're going to be having on June 14th, 15th, depending on your time zone. It's at 24 degrees Gemini. So this video is going to be in true Gemini form. It's going to be impromptu, it's going to be informative, funny, maybe a little comedy of errors, and maybe a little scattered as well. So this morning, I woke up with the idea that I was going to take a walk and share about the Gemini New Moon. So I was walking and talking, and in true Gemini vibes, there was interruptions and noises all over the place, from cars driving by with loud mufflers to people's video recording things you're being watched or you're being recorded as I'm walking by their houses, to phone calls interrupting me, some welcomed, some not, and then even having a great conversation with a friend, and then she gets a call that interrupts our great conversation that got cut short. So then I'm like, okay, let me come home and sit on my porch or find a spot and share what I was going to share. Plane goes by. People are working in the neighborhood. I was like, okay, this is not happening. It's just not happening. So I realized, okay, wait a minute. Venus is in Cancer. Jupiter is in Cancer. Just had this beautiful connection in the sky. And Mars is in Taurus. Let me just go home. Let me just take a shower, nourish myself, take care, clean myself up, settle, and start again. And so here I am. So for this new moon, the moon and sun together in Gemini is planting a new seed around discernment. And what I was trying to say on my walk, Uranus is in Gemini. We're already feeling this kind of sporadic interruption constantly, right? Our thoughts and our daily, routines, everything we're trying to juggle in a day, do in a day. The communication is fast and rapid. And a lot of that's exciting. And a lot of it is, it's ruled by Mercury, which is in Cancer. And he's going to be here for the next couple of months because he's going to go retrograde here this summer, June 29th through I think July 20th or something like that. So there is going to be a lot of focus on our moon sign, our needs. We're going to want to communicate more and share more about what we truly need to feel safe and nourished and loved and free to speak our mind, to share our ideas, to pursue the things that are meaningful to us. And Venus is in Leo. And she is ready to be creative, to shine, to enjoy herself, and to have some freedom of expression. So I think that this new moon in Gemini is going to be a really great time for everyone to slow down, to take care of themselves, take some deep breaths, take some time outs, and lean into doing activities that are good for us and things we enjoy doing. Mars is in Taurus. That's one of the reasons why I was walking this morning, is because getting in my body and walking settles my mind, nervous system. It actually, a lot of ideas come when I walk too, so I can walk and talk or walk and record ideas or voice memo and things like that. So if you're really good at multitasking like Gemini energy is, it's great. But if you're not, it can be an extremely overwhelming time. And so look to where Gemini, late Gemini, is in your natal chart and see where you might be needing to or wanting to or feeling called to start something new, an idea that has been percolating for a long time, and maybe where you can make more time and space for doing that, as opposed to being overwhelmed or allowing the other things in your life or the other noise in the world distracting you from that. Also with Jupiter in Cancer, we just had that beautiful meetup of Venus and Jupiter in Cancer. And that really does expand everything that we're feeling right now and desiring right now. And so if you felt really called emotionally, or you felt really moved during that time, or called to do something different, maybe that was the call for this new moon for you, to plant that seed for what you want to cultivate more going forward. Maybe it is something new you want to learn or dive into deeper. Maybe it's writing, which is something that I'm very passionate about, and I feel very called to start writing more. And I've been putting that off because I stay busy with other things. And it's also happening in my 12th house, which is where Uranus is about to enter. And I do think I'm going to maybe suddenly go dark a little bit and do some writing because I feel very called to do that. So where is it happening for you? Where are you feeling called in your heart and in your soul and in your body, which are all Cancer, from that Mercury in Cancer? Where are you being called right now that you really want to put your energy and focus more clearly? I'm looking forward to moving into Cancer and solstice time, and I think that will just amplify this new moon, which is right at late degrees, and then we move into the solstice, we move into Cancer season. So it's like that idea, then when we move through the summer into Cancer and Leo, it's like, let that wash over you. Lose yourself in what that feels like. Maybe it's familial and memories, or being with family. And with the Mercury retrograde in Cancer, I do think it's going to have us thinking a lot more about our emotions and the things that move us, things that hurt us, emotions that maybe we've been carrying way too long. And I shared something in a talk I did with my Astrology and Education Coalition about Mercury retrograde in Cancer, or just Mercury in Cancer in general. So because it's in Cancer, ruled by the moon, and we have to remember the moon changes sign every 2.5 days. So literally our mind-body connection is going to shift, along with our emotional energy is going to shift every couple of days based on the sign the moon is traveling through. So you may feel these waves of emotion based on where the moon is. It's a good time to pay attention to the moon and the cycle of the moon, because our emotions will ebb and flow like they usually do every 2.5 days. But because Mercury is in Cancer as well as Jupiter for another month or so, we may want to actually share and speak more about what we're feeling. We may need to get out some of our thoughts and feelings and have some conversations, revisit some conversations that can hopefully help nurture maybe a relationship, maybe an idea, maybe a partnership or a project. I also looked at the Sabian symbol for this new moon, and it's a gardener trimming large palm trees, and the idea of pruning. So that message was not lost on me either. Again, I feel like it really does speak to this idea of being discerning and actively kind of pruning. We're growing some tomato plants in the backyard, and you have to kind of prune the lower stems that start growing so that it allows the plant to grow higher and more blooms to come, and then more tomatoes to grow. I feel like that's an example of the energies, and what we need to be doing is kind of like to clear away some low vibes, some low energy, some low hanging things that are not really helping and supporting us grow. So just to close this rambling Gemini new moon video, take some time this weekend and consider all that's been swirling in your life, all the things you've been working on, all the things that you're excited about, all the things that have been changing. I haven't talked to anybody who hasn't had some sort of shakeup or change happening in their life. And the ones that are handling it the best are the ones that are kind of surrendering to the future and what's possible and what could be good that unfolds from this change. And I think that's a state that we all need to work on living in, because that is the energy of the times. There are going to be so many continuous changes and shifts, and it's going to keep us off our center. And that's the important piece, I think, bringing me back to Mars and Taurus right now, is like, okay, how can I root into what is really, really lovely and important and meaningful and valuable to me in my life? And what do I want to focus my time and energy on going forward? And as we move into summertime, that may very well be family, friends, people that really mean something to you, making the effort to make time and spend quality time with family and people that are important to you, communities that mean something to you, making those connections and cultivating those connections. So this Gemini new moon, take a moment to sit with yourself, sit with your ideas, the things that are percolating within you, and decide what you want to plant and where you need to maybe cut away or organize your time and your life in a way that supports what you truly desire to cultivate and grow and nurture in your life going forward. And I'll just say too, we have Father's Day coming up next weekend. I hope you've been listening to my Healing the Father Wound series. I've been working hard on just sharing a lot of my thoughts and ideas and stories and heart into what is meaningful to me, and that work has been. So maybe during this time, if you haven't had a chance to, you can go back and listen to some of the videos that I've shared and that series. You can listen on YouTube or, get a few pieces and bites of it on social, wherever it finds you. I hope it serves you well. And if you've been following along, thanks a lot. I really appreciate it and love to hear what spoke to you or what landed. Where's Gemini for you? Where is it landing this new moon? Like I said earlier, for me, it's the 12th house. So I feel like that's why I'm so overwhelmed with so many of the thoughts and ideas that are coming up for this new moon. And it's also inspiring me to lean more into what I truly want to do, which is write some stories and write with the intention of hopefully one day that serving even a broader audience. So if you don't see me for a while, after my series, I will be on vacation, and then I will likely be doing some writing. Wishing you a beautiful summer and a beautiful new moon. Take care and keep nurturing your astrology.